So I've had this profile for almost a decade now, maybe around 7 to 10 years. And for this first time, it's hit over 1 million monthly views, and my traffic is growing on this blog as well as my other blogs and niche blogs that I have. Traffic is growing based on Pinterest. So I wanted to share with you my Pinterest strategy for 2025 and what is working right now. I have around 7 new things that I am incorporating into my overall Pinterest strategy that I share with you in my Pin and Win Masterclass. And if you want to adapt other things into your own profile, you can pick up my book, my 15 Genius Pinterest Tips for you. It's a nice ebook with a lot of little things similar to what I'm sharing today that you can apply to your strategy. Okay. So I wanted to share with you what is going on. So one of the first things that I wanted to focus on was increasing my monthly views. Now, there is a lot of people like Pinterest experts that tell you that monthly views mean nothing. It's a vanity metric, but I don't believe that. When my monthly views were at 400,000, my traffic was under 20,000. When my views grew to over 1 million, then my traffic grew substantially because of that. Traffic is growing up to 80,000 page views. So I know wholeheartedly that when people, because monthly views mean that people are seeing my pins in the feeds, that Pinterest is serving up my pins to an audience, especially my engaged audience, and then a broader audience, that they're engaging with it. And then it grows my views. Then more people see my pins, more people come to my profile, more people click on my twinsmommy.com website. It grows and grows. So that's, for me, a big thing. So one of the things that I started doing in December, because up until December, my monthly views were around, I'd say 400,000 to 500,000. So what I started doing was I was on the platform more often. And what I did was I started going to my home feed on my phone. Now, I'm not going to show you screenshots of my phone or me using the phone because, well, first of all, I'm not quite sure how to do that. But let's just pretend this is me on my phone. So I would, on long trips to the ice rink for hockey practice, or whenever I was, out and about, I would go on my phone and I would peruse Pinterest. Now, this is one of the things that I never, ever have done in all the years. I don't use my phone for entertainment purposes when I'm out and about. I'm running errands, I'm doing things. It just never occurred to me or never had time. But now that, my son spends 5 hours skiing and I'm sort of hanging around there at the ski lodge, this is what I'm doing now. I have more time to sort of do this particular thing. And what that is going onto the Pinterest feed and saving any relevant pins to my board. So for example, this is a Pinterest SEO guide. I don't know if this is a course though. Sometimes I'm a little bit hesitant to save other people's pins to go to courses. So I tend to save more like craft type of pins. So this is fabric crafts. I have a board on fabric crafts. So I will save that one. And then I'll just go around here. This is about affiliate marketing. I don't know if I have an affiliate marketing. I do. So affiliate marketing goes there. I have parenting that can fit there. So I just go and just peruse pins that are connected to what I write about and what my audience is seeking. I don't think that's my pin that someone uploaded, but I'm going to save that and I'm going to do that. I'm also going to, that's one of my pins here, but I can't save it, but I'm just seeing what is on my feed. Of course, it's tailored to me. So as you can see, I do pin a lot of crafting things, a lot of parenting things. So decorate your office, desk accessories, parenting, a summer schedule. That's good. Organizing. So I do organizing tips, workplace organization. All right. So I do that just periodically. I don't spend hours and hours. I might do that for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'll go to my boards and I will just see any old boards that might need some updating. So like this board here, it's been 3 weeks since I pinned to this board. So I'm going to just go into it and then save a couple, not too many, and then that's it. And I might do that with a couple more boards. So this one, don't see anything particular about what I am pinning about, but maybe I'll go to like, so something like this is what I'm looking for that I can save in this board. All right. So that's one of the first things. And I noticed immediately an increase in views. So I think what's happening is that when I see popular pins in my feed, that when it's saved to my boards, then it gets synced, or there's a relationship between those top pins and then my pins in that board. So it just strengthens the board. It strengthens the pin. I think that's what's happening, and it's working with the views growing. So that's one of the first things that I've been doing that's brand new. The next thing that you see here on my profile is that I'm trying to be more consistent. I'm not, but using the native pin scheduler. I will go off and on using this. It is not a huge part of my strategy, but I know for other pinners out there that they only rely on the scheduler, and they're getting a lot of traffic because of that. So if you can't afford a scheduler, then this might be the option for you. The Pinterest scheduler, I think, can save up to 48 pins a day. So that sort of tells you what like sort of the maximum amount that Pinterest likes, although they do have a bulk uploader, which I'm not quite sure where it is, but I've heard about the bulk upload here, the bulk editor, perhaps. I think you can upload, like 100 pins or something like that, but it's not reliable from what I heard. I've never ever tried that. But again, these are like, when you are low in traffic with Pinterest, you need to think of things that you've never done and try them for a month. Like I said, I've never used my phone to save pins. And I started doing that in December, and it worked. I'm starting to at least fill my feed up in the native scheduler. Pinterest does want people to use their things, especially content creators. They want to use the tools that they provide for us. And so it only makes sense to use them. So I've been just uploading them. I don't care about the time, but I do try to schedule them only on the weekends. So I got that going. And then it just dulls out when it dulls out, kind of thing. And I don't know, like I said, I really don't know if it's making a huge effect because I am not that consistent. But if you can be consistent on that, then go for it. Try it out. Try it for at least a month. These things, try for a month. I did for when I started in December, I did that for a whole month of saving other people's pins. And then now I'm talking about it, kind of thing. So another thing that I don't normally do for this blog is to create alternate pins. Here is one about Easter desk decor. Here's a pin here, and then here's a pin here. And there's probably other ones. So like I deliberately create these alternate pins off the bat rather than waiting weeks and weeks to create alternate pins for these topics. So that helps me for when I do my pinning strategy. I just have a reservoir of pins that I can pin. Sometimes I have images within the blog posts that are pin style, and then I can pin that, but I don't do that too often. I usually have text on the pins here. Okay. I don't always have just a straight up image here, an image here, but you see, even with an image, I can get 2 clicks here. So sometimes I will just throw in an image here and there to see if I get any engagement. I'm not getting a ton because, of course, this profile only shares pins with text on it. So my audience is used to that, and they might just glide over these like of single ideas kind of thing. So I'm okay with that. So that's why I don't rely on it too heavily. But the fact that I am making alternate pins right off the bat is helping me on another new strategy that I'm doing. Another thing that I recently did, and I shared a video on this, is that I have deleted a ton of boards. Most of them are group boards, but I had to revamp this profile, and I think that is helping. So now, as you can see, I don't have any group boards, and if I do, it's just because I don't want to part with them. I think I got rid of all the group boards. Yeah, it looks like here. You can tell it's a group board on a Pinterest profile when there is a little avatar of people next to the title, but I don't see that. All right, so yeah, so I started to delete that, and I had over 100 group boards and like non-essential boards that I got rid of. Like I archived them. I like deleted them, and then I archived other ones that I couldn't delete. That was a little scary for me, but in my video, I share with you how I did that. And I think that helped with the niche or what Pinterest thinks my profile is about. Now, I have told you in other videos from years and years ago that, blogging, which is something that I write about on Twins Mommy, is not a popular topic. And so I created another video of me pivoting my Twins Mommy content to focus more on more Pinterest loving topics. So, and that relies on like desk organization and crafts to make and sell, because I have blogged about that in the past, but I never stuck with it. So now I'm full force on that. I'm not writing about blogging tips or email tips as much, but I am writing about Pinterest tips, and I will share my Pinterest tips on Pinterest. So like here, how to make money from Pinterest. I have 3 clicks here. So I know my Pinterest content is okay, and I will still write about that. It does feed into my Pinterest ebook, my Pinterest course, my Pinterest graphics that I sell, a lot of Pinterest things, my lead magnet, all of that is Pinterest centric, I guess. And so I'm going to still write about that, but I am no longer writing about blogging. I'm sharing blogging stuff on my YouTube channel. So if you want blogging tips from me, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, but not on my blog. So because of that, I had to delete a lot of group boards and boards that just did not align. I was in email marketing group boards as well. And so I got myself off of those boards. Okay. So if you are struggling again with your Pinterest strategy and the group boards are not working for you, you're not finding that you're getting a lot of love from those people pinning or repinning your stuff, then get off of those. It's bloating your profile. It's making it too like unhelpful in Pinterest's eyes about what your profile is about. I think that's helping me. It really just sort of propelled my blog to grow the monthly views to get more traffic. And then the other thing, it's not necessarily new, but it is new for this site, is to use a third-party Pinterest scheduler. I didn't mention that I'm no longer on Tailwind. I don't know if I'm going to part ways with Tailwind for good. I do like Tailwind overall, but I am using another Pinterest scheduler that for now is working, but I do realize that, Tailwind is an approved scheduler for Pinterest. If I find that, after a year of doing this, that it's just not going past, let's say 80,000, I can never get to 100,000. And no matter what I throw at Pinterest, perhaps it could be the scheduler. Perhaps when I stopped Tailwind and went to a third-party Pinterest scheduler, my traffic grew. So just pivoting and making that switch can help. If you're not on Tailwind and you're manually pinning, if you get on Tailwind, I can't guarantee you, but just that switch could help propel your blog. Right? Of course, you want to do this slowly. When you get onto something new, you take it slowly. When I started my native pin scheduler, I didn't just upload 48 pins. I scheduled 1 pin for Saturday, another pin for Sunday. The next week, 1 pin for Saturday, another pin for Sunday. And that's it. And I did that for a while, and then I would just add to it and add to it. It only schedules up to 2 weeks in advance, I think. So once that was filled, then I would double. I would schedule 2 pins on Saturday and 2 pins on Sunday and do that. And then when that filled, if I'm still more consistent, then I would do 3 pins on Saturday, 3 pins on Sunday, and things like that. That's sort of what I mean by going slow if you're going to switch to a Pinterest scheduler. A new thing that I'm starting to do, and in my last video, I told you that I was toying with the idea of longer pins, especially like if you search, I don't know, let's see, kids summer activities maybe. See, there are long pins here. Long pins and then the short pins. I create the short pins here. I always have. But I'm seeing a lot of long pins and it's making me think that maybe I should do some long pins. So I've been doing that or toying with it. I don't know if these are long pins. Yeah, I think these are the longer pins that I started to do. I'm starting to just upload longer pins to my native scheduler. So that's new. I'm trying this out. And then the other thing is I am also creating longer pin descriptions for my long pins. So you can see this is a longer pin. I don't know if that's going to help, but I'm trying it out. I'm adding more keywords to that long pin description and I'm creating a long pin. Let's see if that works. Who knows? That's something that is brand new that I'm trying. I've never tried it before. Last year, never thought about it. But now, I need to try new things. So this is why I'm just throwing it in a couple pins. If I'm seeing traction on these pins when I'm scrolling through my analytics, or I'm seeing this like, wow, it's getting a boost, then I will incorporate that more into my regular size pins. I might create a consistent template for longer pins. I really don't know at this moment. So that's something, like I said, I am playing with to see if that's working for 2025. And then another thing is, because I have more than one site, I need to create content faster. I don't rely on AI that much. Like, I am a freelance writer. I do get paid to write. I do write fast, but it's just getting it all together takes a while. So I'm trying to create a template. So for example, I'm trying to do more posts like this, where I will have a list post, I will have an intro, and then I will have a subtopic, and then I will list the list items under the subtopic and use, this is Amazon here, so I'm trying Amazon marketing, but then use pins to populate the subtopics. This is the fastest way that I can do that. So I can create a post of 15 ways, populate the pins or embed the pins in my blog post, and then write 1 or 2 sentences underneath it if I need to. I can use AI to help me like finish a sentence or add a bullet list, but like I'm just writing about like, oh, this command center is a cool wall organizer. I have a perfect spot above my desk, and just write about that. So that is a lot faster for me in creating content than, first of all, even relying on AI to write the content takes twice as long for me. Like, it really does. So I am doing this in bits and pieces. I'm a fast writer, so I can whip these out quicker, especially for this blog. This is my brand, my face. So especially for this is what I'm trying to do. Writing the intro, then this, and then going into the topics here. I did this a little bit different, but those are the topics, right? So I'm using video, but I'm just writing the stuff as quickly as I can to get this going. So something like this was very easy for me to write. I think I wrote it in under an hour. So I can whip these out. It's just dedicating that time, because I am managing 6 blogs, right? I am managing a lot of sites and a writer as well. So a lot of my time is sourcing new blog topics. When I have the time to write, I just need that time that no one is bothering me, and that's few and far between. Even when my twins are at school, for some reason my husband works from home, so I work upstairs, he works downstairs. We're still bugging each other constantly. It's like it's hard to find time. Even when I do videos, he's storming into the room and I have to edit that out. Yeah. That is my life. But I'm finding that if I can create a template of sorts of doing that, I do show you a good template in Pin and Win. It's similar to what I have here, but again, I change here and there. It's a tried and true template that works. That's what I started all my niche sites, and it just sort of evolved from that, but it grew the traffic the fastest with that template. Like I said, I'm not really in a huge growth phase for Twins Mommy, but I do want to get my traffic up to, if I can get it to 100,000, my goal, now it seems like to get my sites up to 100,000 page views for my sites. And so if I can do that with a strong Pinterest strategy, then I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on that. So those are the tactics that I am doing in my Pinterest strategy for 2025. If you need more help of other things that you can incorporate that have proven to work and will work, pick up my ebook, 15 Genius Pinterest Tips. And if you want a repeatable process, then consider enrolling in Pin and Win, my masterclass for Pinterest marketing. If you have any specific questions, post them down below. Otherwise, check out this video of things that you can incorporate if your traffic is tanking, what you can do. And I'll see you in that video.